And now joining us for more is Professor Kobi Michael, senior researcher at the INSS and Mizgav Institute. Professor Michael, thanks for joining us. First of all, I want to get your reaction to the news of Hadar Golden's return. Still to be confirmed, but if it's so, it's been a long wait.
Yes, indeed. We really hope that it is Hadar Golden body, and it will be a sort of a closure that should have been long before. And this is, I hope, something that we have succeeded to achieve due to the commitment of Hamas to the framework of President Trump, to the so-called 20 Articles plan, and not as an agreement inside an agreement where we will have to release the 150 or 2,000 Hamas militants who are deep in the tunnels there in Rafah area and Khan Yunis area. I hope that the return of Hadar Golden is a part of the obligation that Hamas still has. And we have to remember that we still have four dead hostages that Hamas holds.
Indeed. I want to get you also your reaction to this report. It was first in the Washington Post, but it's been sort of confirmed by Israeli officials that the U.S. has now taken the lead in deciding on aid distribution in Gaza. We'd expect that that's happened maybe at some point, but the issues this could raise over really who's calling the shots now in the Gaza Strip.
Look, this is part of the efforts that are done or conducted by the American administration in order to give the maximum, chance or probability to the realization of the plan peacefully. And I think that Israel has to encourage the American administration in doing that, because this is an Israeli interest. Israel has a very vital interest that this plan will succeed, that this plan will be implemented, and the preferable way is peacefully, because once this plan will be implemented, it means that all the objectives of the war that were declared by the government of the State of Israel are going to be realized by the realization of this plan. And if this plan will fail, it should fail because of Hamas, not because of Israel. And here Israel has to build its legitimization and close coordination relations with the American administration, generally speaking, and with President Trump specifically, in order to enable Israel to resume the military fighting against Hamas in the western part of the Gaza Strip, in order to dismantle Hamas and to demilitarize the Gaza Strip. Right. And therefore, I think that we have to be sober and patient, and to understand that now it's the time of the American administration to play the game, and to hope that they will succeed in playing the game.
And finally, I want to ask you, Israel has been urging the U.S. to be more cautious in its approach to or embrace of President Alshara of Syria. But here we see he's going to the White House. There's sanctions against him being lifted. And yes, he's playing basketball with CENTCOM commanders. What's your reaction?
I think that President Trump and the American administration both are very enthusiastic with regard to the future potential of President Alshara and Syria as an American asset. And I think that they do believe that there is a potential to make a step further or forward with regard to the relations between Israel and Syria, and to bring Syria to be part of the Abraham Accord, and to use Syria as an asset against Hezbollah and against Iran. Therefore, they give him the chance, and they are trying to forgive, and to forget even many things that have been done by Alshara and his fellows during the decade and more of civil war in Syria. I do hope that they are, seeing the reality correctly, and they are not wrong in this regard. Because if they are wrong, then it will be very embarrassing, and it will create a sort of a very chaotic situation, not only for the Americans, but mainly for the Israelis and for the Lebanese. So I hope that this will be a sort of a honey trap for President Alshara as well, and it will enable the creation of new regional architecture.
All right, Professor Kobi Michael, thanks for joining us on ILTV.
Thank you for having me.